In the last video, I showed you how to travel to Thailand the right way. And today in this video, I'm showing you how I escaped the 9 to 5. Because remote entrepreneurship is not what you think. This is what it actually looks like. A real business, a real client, a real website build. Today, we're gonna build out the homepage for Brightwell Financial using AI, Codex, ChatGPT, the American Side Hustle, which is a white label version of GoHighLevel. I'm gonna show you how I move fast, build brands, get clients, and create income from anywhere in the world. So if you've been wondering how people actually do this, then watch this video, save this video, because I'm gonna take you step by step through my entire process. Let's get started. Okay, so when I first start working with a client, I pretty much give them a form to fill out. That form allows me to gather information about what that client needs or what their business is. Brightwell Financial is a life insurance company. They work primarily with Medicaid, Medicare, and life insurance. The best thing you can do is ask them to provide you with at least 2 to 3 references. Those references are going to give you kind of an idea of what they're looking for. The other thing that's really important, when you get this reference from your client, you're going to turn it into a PDF. You're going to put the positive things about it and the negative things about it, and you're gonna build out a list. I'm gonna show you what that list looks like over here. This is my Word document. Before you start a project, you need to organize your thoughts or pretty much organize your plan of action. I've gone through and gathered some of the important information. Now, Brightwell Financial is the domain name that was chosen. I went through with the client to figure out what domains were available. The ones that they wanted originally were not available, so we landed on brightwellfinancial.com. The agent's name or the client's name, and yes, I did get permission to use his name. He's branding himself. He wants to be seen. Do not upload your client's information without the permission. I have his permission. So the agent's name, the business owner's name is Nathaniel Sanderson III. Primary focus is Medicaid, Medicare, and life. Brand colors are blues that represent health insurance and retaining things seen visually. Once I got that information from him, after we talked back and forth and filled out the form and went through things that you should do with your client, I have another video that's coming up where I kind of go through all of the American Side Hustle with the client. My primary brand is going to be blue. This color is Brightwell Blue. And here's some other things too, because when you're doing web development, even if you're new to it, you always want to have a minimum of 2 colors, like a maximum of kind of like 3 colors that are your primary colors. That's your primary color, like the one that's in the website. When you think of Facebook, you got the blue background and the white F in front. With this guy, we're going to have like the deep dark blue for background. We're going to have different blues that are nice to see when you're watching, and we're going to have like a soft blue for some accent colors. But you want to figure out the brand colors of your client's site, their whole business, because everything's going to depend on that moving forward. So I've gone through, gathered some stuff, figured out some colors, used the color wheel to see what contrasts well and what doesn't. Did a little bit of research. You don't have to be expert at this, but you got to be able to organize well and do your research. You can always use AI, which we have now, as a tool to assist you in figuring these things out. Then give it to your client, let them give you the green light, and you're good to go. Don't overthink it too much. Typography is like fonts and stuff. These are the things that I went with. And why did I go with this? Because the reference site that the client provided me used these fonts. So that's what we're going with. Logo concept. That's important. So he's rebranding himself and needs a new logo. And the logo is pretty much kind of what the people are going to see and recognize you by. So we went through the concept of the logo, put all this stuff together. We talked for maybe an hour or two, and we figured out what we wanted his logo to be and what other things we wanted to display, kind of like the backstory of his business. Think about the client's business as like a 2-minute short animation movie. What's going to be memorable about it? What's going to make people want to go see that trailer or go watch that movie? That's kind of how I do things when I talk to my clients. I envision announcing or kind of showcasing their brand as a short animated film. Now, for this individual person, we used also Getco as a reference. They've been doing car insurance for a long time, and one of the reasons I believe that they've lasted so long is we all know that Getco has the little lizard, the gecko, however you pronounce it, and he's very memorable. So that little character, that mascot, has allowed people to remember that company for a long time. Same thing with Aflac. We all know the Aflac duck. That is their mascot. So with this individual, we are going to use a mascot as well. And you'll see it as we go along, because I'm going to build it. I'm going to be doing all this from scratch with you. The mascot's personality. Like if you think about the Aflac duck, what's something that you remember about that duck? He's clumsy, he's goofy, he's always getting into trouble, and he's loud. That is his characteristics. Now, when you think about that lizard, he is sophisticated. He talks well. He's elegant. He's smart. he kind of questions what's going on. That's his personality, that's his quirk. If you're going to go the mascot route, you're going to build out the personality of that mascot, because that's going to help you envision the client's idea a lot better, or help shape the direction of their online presence. Now, this individual is going to be using an otter. That otter is probably going to be a big part of their company moving forward, because it'll be something that they can use on social media to promote with. We went through all that, and here down here below, you can see I use these two sites as reference. Now, if we come over, here is one of the sites. I used it primarily because the colors are similar, even though I'm not really fond of the website design. But it has some things that I do like. I like this top menu here. I like this menu here, although it is a bit wide. The hero image is not something I'm fond of. Not this particular one, because it's too skinny. And there's some things that are working, there's some things that's not. This is really, really text heavy, which I think people can get kind of lost in. So we're not gonna go this route with the text heaviness. But we are gonna use some of the things that they did, like maybe the accessibility and these awards here. My client has them. We'll put those things in. And the second reference site is this one right here. This one, they use a video for the background, which I do like that because it kind of brings a lot of attention. I like this one because for this individual client, Brightwell, they want people to contact them. He wants to speak with them on the phone. He wants to have that Zoom call. He wants to have that consultation to see how he can assist you. So this one leans more toward the client's goal than the other one, but both of them have elements that we can use to build out this beautiful site for the client. Now, this part here, again, is something that I don't like. There's a ton of negative space. I'm not a big fan of wasting all of this negative space. Some things down here are okay, but I also don't like how it's kind of catty cornered. When I use stuff here, I'm gonna left justify this, have it in a straight line so that it's aesthetically pleasing. They centered it, that's their choice. But me personally, that's not the way that I design or the way that I build things out. But there's a lot of things here that work and don't work. He's got his Google reviews on here, which is awesome. That's easy to set up. You got this proof, right? But the last one was June of 2021, so maybe this site isn't maintained. It does look a little bit dated. Probably something they put together themselves, but there's a lot of positive going on here, but I am going to use this as a strong reference. Now that I have this information and I have these references, what I tend to do next is, if I go to this reference site, I use this tool over here. It's called Go Full Page. You can find it in the Google Chrome extensions, and I will use this to create a PDF of my reference sites. And after I generate this PDF, I download it and I put it in the folder. Now, why do I do this? This allows me to give this to Codex, which is the tool that we're going to be using. It's a tool provided by ChatGPT. I have the Pro plan, which is like $200 a month, but it pays for itself because I use it every single day. And it does a lot of my work for me. Now, this will give me a visual representation for Codex to see my reference. I will also provide Codex with the URLs of the demo sites, which is this one and this one. That is going to allow it to kind of help me plan out the visual aesthetics of the site. Now, I also take this PDF that I generated and this first document that I created, and I feed it to ChatGPT. And after I give it all of that information, I ask it to create a master prompt for Codex, telling it to open a new VS Code, that's the other application that I use, and to design a homepage for Brightwell Financial. So I fed this document to ChatGPT along with my PDFs for it to create this right here. This is the master prompt, and you can see here are my reference sites. So we have all that information that I put together with the client, plus the references, plus the idea of the logo, plus everything about the mascot. And we are only going to build out the homepage right now. As we come down to this master prompt, we see the homepage required sections. We have the header navigation. We come down some more. We have our call to actions. We have in part 2 our hero section, which I will tell you what section that is as we complete this site. We come down to the services area, and we have these things here. We have Medicare. We have all the stuff that we talked about in that document. If you're looking through this so far, you can see that nothing here is really extreme. It's not really complicated. All I've done so far is I've documented what I want to happen. And this first edition that we create is not going to be perfect, but it's going to give us a visual place to kind of see what's happening so that we can make it better as we go along. Now, this whole process before doing it in WordPress, which I started as a WordPress developer, it would have taken a very long time to generate what we're about to generate now. I'm going to copy this master code, expand my window, and I'm going to paste this master code in here. I'm also going to go and grab my visual representation that we spoke about. Now I have uploaded those two PDFs that I showed you how I screen recorded with Go Full Page Google Chrome extension, and I am going to press next. While that's processing, if you go to miaandmonami.pro and you join our community before it opens, you're gonna be locked in for a lifetime. That's $97 for lifetime with no upsells ever. The Skool community that I'm making is launching on June 1st. So go ahead and lock in on this lifetime deal while you can. After June 1st, when the community officially launches, it's gonna go to a monthly subscription and the price is never gonna go down again. So lock in for life now, because I'm gonna be going over everything that I've ever learned and showing you how I did it my way. What I did works for me, and it might work for you, but you can use what I give you and turn it into your own thing. Now, also, for those of you who join the community, the Presale, you're also going to get access to the American Side Hustle. That is a white label version of GoHighLevel. I generate a lot of income doing this. So you can see me doing this live. You can learn from my mistakes in real time, or you can fast forward and skip this boring part. But the money's in the boring. It is what it is. So I have one of my other projects open, the personal project, and I forgot to create a new project in VS Code. So before you start this process, make a new project in VS Code. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I pull up VS Code. I'm literally doing this live, so you can actually see my workflow. It looks like it actually created a temporary logo for me. I'm gonna design out the logo anyways, but if it gives me a reference to start with, that's awesome. If it doesn't, then whatever. Now, header.tsx, it is now creating the header of our homepage, which is pretty cool. Because as you can see, I'm sitting here talking to you. I haven't touched the keyboard again, but my work is getting done. Technology has advanced that far. I've been a WordPress developer for almost 14 years now, and I used to have to do this all by hand manually for hours, little by little. Now I'm sitting here talking to you, watching magic happen. It's not hard to make money in 2026. While that's doing that, let's move over to the right side of my screen, right? We got this beautiful time. So another thing that I'm gonna release to you guys here, I've traveled a lot. I've been to 17 countries. Some of you have been to more countries than me. Some of you are more experienced. Some of you are not. But I've put together all of my information, everything that I've learned over the last couple of years, into my book called the Monami Perspective, Freedom Without Fantasy. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can review it for free. You can go through and read what I have to say if you're interested. If you're not, then ignore this. If you are interested, then it's here. If you want the hardcover, it's available on Amazon. For those of you who are regular members or who join the American Side Hustle, I'm going to send you the ebook version. It's going to be password protected, but I'm going to send it to you so only you can access it. If you're interested, I worked on this for about 2 years. I finally put it together. I'm proud of it. But yeah, the Monami Perspective, Freedom Without Fantasy, a realistic guide to social media, AI, remote income, systems, travel, and building a life with more control. I've done it. I've spent the majority of my adult life overseas. Me and my family travel all the time, and I love to say that we have a beautiful life and we're happy and content. And I would love for you guys to have the same thing. While we're killing time, you can see here, this is my community preset. As the links are going to be down in the description below. You can see here, you've got 16 days, 1 hour, and 38 minutes left at the time of me recording this video to lock in on that lifetime membership. That's going to give you access to me, our weekly lives, our one-on-one sessions, a lot of the tools, custom GPTs, and so much stuff that I'm building up. Get locked in for a lifetime. No upsells ever. Once you're in the community, you're good. You don't got to worry about another payment. But after June 1st, we're going to monthly subscription. I expect this community to continue to grow. A lot of you have already signed up, and I appreciate the support. For those of you who haven't, you still got 16 days. So that's that. Go visit miaandmonami.pro. Before to go, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the American Side Hustle. Because if you're going to follow along with what I'm doing with your own stuff, you're either gonna need to use the American Side Hustle and get all the additional benefits that you get for working with me, or you're gonna need to use GoHighLevel. I have put the link in the description for both platforms. You can go through my system, which is a white label version of GoHighLevel. Only difference is you get more access to more things. You get a longer trial period. If you register here, you're gonna start off with 14 days, but once I see that registration kick up, I'm gonna add an additional 30 days on top of it because you registered, you're trying to learn. This will give you a solid 2 weeks to start learning software and learning the tools that are available to you before the community actually launches. That way, when we start and we kick off on the 1st with that live inside the community, you'll know the software. You'll be able to follow along and you'll be able to start figuring out what works for you so you can generate passive income and hopefully change your life for the better. If you've been reading through this like I have, Codex is amazing. I literally have an additional web developer here helping me with all of this. Boom. That is everything that this software just did for us. I'm not gonna read it all one by one, but if you're curious like me, let's see what this looks like. We now have a basic shell for us to go through and adjust. We talked about in the beginning, this little character that we're gonna have in the logo. Now we need to fix some things, absolutely, but we have the shell of our site now. I'm gonna change this logo, I'm gonna give it images, but I asked it to put placeholders in, so it did. And if we're going through here, we have the basic elements of what we need. Medicare, Medicaid, life insurance. I'll check those buttons in a minute. So I have the placeholder for our agent, Nathaniel Sanderson. So in just a couple minutes, we have a great shell. Now, Beacon the Otter, I'm going to design out what he actually looks like in a moment. And we're gonna make all this stuff look better, not so cartoony. But the important thing is we have the shell built out. With just a little bit of information, we have the home page of our site done. And look, all this stuff here is already pre-generated for us. Now, these up here, these elements are gonna go to blog articles. We're gonna create those later. But in a couple minutes of me just talking to you, we have a good shell of what our site's gonna be. Now, I can tell it that, hey, this is good, but it's too limited, it's too basic, it's too lacking, and it's gonna go in and it's gonna make it better. So let's go ahead and do that. So I've told it that this is a good shell, but it's very lacking. It needs to be enhanced and also needs additional pages and blog articles. I want it to be informative about each part of insurance that Brightwell covers. So I'm gonna give it this in a little bit more detail and tell it to make this a lot better. So while that's generating that and improving this, let's go over here to the client's account and go high level or the American Side Hustle. So here I'm on the back end of the American Side Hustle. This is where the client's information is. This is how the client's gonna manage their account. There are 1,000 tutorials on GoHighLevel. It is an amazing tool that does a lot of stuff, and the free trial is 14 days to learn. I use GoHighLevel underneath the $497 plan to run my business and to run my clients' businesses. So right now we are in Brightwell Financial and we are going to just continue setting things up for this individual. Now, here in marketing, this is the social planner. I'm doing a complete setup for this client. So after the website's done, I'm going to be creating their Facebook, their Instagram, everything that you can connect to here, so that we can start using tools like Higgsfield to generate social media content for this client. First, we go to websites, then we click on new website. We're gonna start from blank, and this is gonna be called Brightwell Financial, and we're going to create. Next, we're going to add new page. This is gonna be the home page. Here's an important tip. Where it says path right here, don't click anything on the new site. Leave this, just put home and don't touch anything else. Click create a new page. Now we're going to create from blank. So far it's simple, very, very simple process. Now you can build out websites the traditional way. You can use templates, you can use this like a page builder. There's sections that are before we move forward building out the site, we're gonna need to connect the client's domain. His domain is brightwellfinancial.com. Let's connect it to his site. Now, if you purchase your domain through GoHighLevel or the AmericanSideHustle.com, this is automatically going to connect and you don't have to do anything. Now, if you're using a different hosting provider like Hostinger, you're going to have to do this manually. I'm going to show you how to do this with Hostinger just in case you don't purchase your domain through GoHighLevel. So for example, I am now in Hostinger. I'm going to go to my domains. Now, it's the same thing for GoDaddy, NameHero, Namecheap, Blue Sky, whatever hosting provider you're using. Go to domains, select the domain you want to work with. I'm gonna go with form guides. Click on manage, and you're gonna go to DNS and name servers. If you come back over here and we're looking at this, we see we have an A record, the host is @ and the required value is this number. Copy here. Let's go to A record @ points to that, and then press add record. But that's how you add the DNS records. It's very simple. So you go here, CNAME www, copy the required value. And if I came over to my hosting provider, I would select CNAME, type in www, and then paste my target, and then add record. And that's all you would do. Once that's done, you would come back here and you would click on add records. After that is completed, you're gonna see something that looks like this. Now you have this little warning sign because nothing has been connected yet. Once we connect a website, that's going to change. Right now, we're going to go ahead and connect our website. See, right there, what we set up earlier. Proceed to finish. Now that that's done, we can come back, come over to sites, come over to websites, click on Brightwell Financial, and we can start editing the homepage. Now let's come over and see what Codex has done with our site. This one is a little bit better. We still have some things we need to fix and clean up, but in just a couple of minutes, I think 30 minutes top, we have a basic shell of our site that we can start building with. And you can see how in a couple of hours, you can get through the entire process of building out a site with GoHighLevel and with Codex. Now you can see as we start going through here, we're getting better on each section. All of this is going to fill up, and the more information we give it, it's going to finish. Here we go. See? Now, here's the thing to understand. We started really quickly. It took us about 15 minutes to build out a shell. We're going to need to clean this up, and it doesn't take that long. Here's the next thing that we're going to do. I am going to screenshot the section that I want to fix, and we're going to use Codex to fix everything section by section until it's perfect. Opening my screenshot tool, and I'm going to take this and screenshot the navigation menu. I'm going to come in and paste this into Codex, and I'm going to tell it, hey, the header nav menu is messy and does not work well. Create a top bar to make this look better and move some items. Also add items such as Medicare, Medicaid, and life insurance, and a drop down that makes sense. In short, fix the nav menu to be professional. And while Codex is doing its thing, you can be building out something else. From beginning to end, for me to make this look amazing and get a thumbs up from my client, I'm looking at like 2.5, 3 hours of just playing with stuff to have a fully optimized, coded website that's going to be fast and quick. It's just that simple. And this is how I generate my income. I now use tools like GoHighLevel and Codex, ChatGPT, and AI to build out things faster, to make it better, to make it nicer. And it's not that hard. Me doing this little site here, like I said, I'm probably going to put about 3 hours into this, and it's going to be $1,500 for 3 hours of work. When it's done, it's going to look beautiful. Now that's just for the landing page. Now, the other things that I'm setting up is going to be their social media, their funnels, their triggers, their automation workflows. Now look, as I'm sitting here talking to you, it's already making things look better. You see this? It's getting cleaned up. Coverage, all these things are there. It's getting better. Boom. Now, this is what I'm talking about. See, we've gone through, it's still fixing things and making it better. And as we continue fixing each element, we're just going to screenshot the section we want to fix, tell Codex to enhance it, tell it what it needs to add, and make it better. And we'll do that for each section all the way down until it's done. So with a little bit of patience, if you started early in the morning, you would be done by the end of the day. Now I'm going to add in some frequently asked questions. I'm going to add in some more stuff because for me, this page is still very lacking. After making a couple of adjustments, we can see that the site is starting to look a lot better, right? This top bar is better. Our navigation menu is better. We have better placeholders. We have better information. And the homepage overall tells a better story. The hyperlinks that are going to go to other pages are in better places. pretty much this is built out a lot better after making a couple small adjustments. So it didn't take a lot of time to get to this point, and we're already looking nice for what our client is looking for. Now for this particular client, this is an individual agent, so he doesn't need a whole massive company, careers, and all that stuff. He just needs something that's going to help highlight a service where he can have users come and find out more about his services with Medicaid, Medicare, and life insurance. And pretty much right now, this site does that. So as we go through here, we see there's still a little bit of information I'm going to have to fill in, but the overall process is quite simple. One of the last things that we're going to need to do later is add the privacy and terms of service to this, but we'll get into that in another video. Coming back up, if I'm looking through here, talk with Nathaniel. So with GoHighLevel or the American Side Hustle, we have the ability to schedule calendars, kind of like Calendly. You can set an appointment and we can put that link here where it says talk with Nathaniel, so people can schedule a consultation call with him for free or for a fee, depending on what you want to do or what your client wants to do. So two things I'm going to have to do is we're going to have to create a calendar for Nathaniel, and we're going to have to hyperlink this button so people can just call right away. Both are relatively easy things to do. Now we're going to go over here to the American Side Hustle, and we're going to come over here where it says calendars. We're going to create a new calendar. This is going to be a personal booking calendar, and this is going to be free review. Now I do this so that he understands what calendar this is. This is going to go directly to the free review section of his website. You're going to select your team member or your client, and I'm going to leave this the same for now. This first initial meeting, I'm going to set them for 30 minutes, and he's available weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Next, now this right here, this custom meeting location, if I have a link for Zoom or if I have a link for, let's say, Google Meet, that's where I'm going to place this at. Booking rules, so 30-minute intervals, minimum scheduling notice, days at least, let's say, 2-day buffer. Date range is how many days in advance you can book an appointment. So for him, I'm going to say 2 days in advance. Buffer time, which means before the meeting, I like to have a 5-minute buffer before and a 10-minute buffer after in case the meetings tend to run over. Maximum bookings per day, because he's a busy individual, say 3 bookings per day maximum. And to enhance people trying to sign up, I'm going to make him look busy 30% of the time. So his calendar is going to look like it's already been booked 30% of the time. Now, these things here, I'm going to allow a guess because maybe you're signing up with a partner. Okay. Do not require a guest for booking for this situation. Next, we're going to come down to payments. If you wanted to charge for payments for booking, you would turn this on after adding a payment method. These items too, do you want to allow rescheduling of a meeting? For his particular business, you absolutely want to allow rescheduling so that you can get that lead and convert it. Sometimes you may not want to allow rescheduling because it wastes your time. So save changes, and this calendar is now set. Now, when I come up here, because the calendar we just set up is his personal calendar, I'm going to click Share Calendar. I'm going to gather this link right here, and I'm going to paste this link over into Codex. Here is the link for scheduling a free review or booking a consultation. Please add this link to those buttons, and boom, that's how we get that started. Now that we've made that adjustment, you'll see that when we click schedule a free review, it takes us to the calendar form. This is one way of doing it, but I prefer using an embed code, but that's not going to go on the homepage. I just want to show you how simple it is to add a calendar, create a calendar, and make the link and add it. It's very, very simple. Cool. So now we have the basic homepage set up, and it didn't take that long. We do need to make one more correction, and that is the right here. Right here, we should have a picture of Nathaniel. Now, I use Higgsfield for creating website content or images just because it's easier, it's professional, and AI is that good now. So in this section, I need a square image of Nathaniel. This is gonna be a professional image. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here and tell ChatGPT to create an image prompt for me. I haven't read this, I'm gonna copy it, and we're gonna come over here to Higgsfield. Once you're at Higgsfield, you can use whatever AI tool you want or just take a picture of your client. But I like having options. So I'm gonna come over here to image. I'm going to choose the image model. We're going to use Higgsfield Soul 2.0. We are gonna select 1:1 because that is square, like what we see here. And I'm going to select my character. Now that I've selected my character, who is also my client, I'm going to insert the prompt here, and we are going to press generate and see what we get. Using Higgsfield and a clone of our client, here's the image that came out. We have a hyper-realistic looking male who is identical to our client, and we have the theme and logo of our website in the background. We have the lighthouse and we have our agent. So I'm going to take this image and I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy image. Next, I'm going to come to Canva because this image is going to be way too big. I'm going to go to create, custom size. We're going to switch to pixels and we're going to go to 1400 for square image, creating a design, and we're going to paste the image. Next, I'm going to drag this corner, hold the option button on Windows, and make sure that the corners are completely fit. Next, I'm going to name this the Meet Nathaniel. You can name it whatever works for you. This is just for organization. I'm going to press share and I'm going to download, and I'm going to download a JPEG instead of a PNG because it's just going to make this smaller. I want it smaller. It's not going to change the quality any, but we need a smaller download. And I'm going to save this into my Brightwell folder. Next, I'm going to come up to this website right here, which is called tiny-img.com/webp, and I'm going to upload that image. Now, this image has gone all the way up from several megabytes down to 52.66 kilobytes. Let's download the new image. So we're going to come back to the AmericanSideHustle.com and we're going to press back. And we're going to look for our media storage. Inside of our media storage, we're going to create a new folder. And I'm going to name this the homepage. All of my assets for the homepage, all of my images, anything that I need, is going to be placed here in the homepage. So now I'm going to come and I'm going to upload the image of Nathaniel. Once that uploads, I can click this button and I can get the link and it's gonna be copied to my clipboard. Now I'm gonna come over to Codex and tell it to place this image of Nathaniel in the Meet Your Agent section. And just so it doesn't get confused, I'm going to screenshot that section to let Codex know where this image needs to be. And I'm going to paste this here and press next. And after a moment, we're gonna see the image we created in Higgsfield placed here in the Meet Your Agent section. And this is how we change out images on our website. You can use pixels or Unsplash, any type of stock images that you want. You can create your own image, but one thing you must remember, in order to keep your site fast, you want to optimize the image and make them as small as you can without degrading the quality. The best way I found to do that is using a tool like tiny-img.com or tinypng. There's a lot of tools that help you optimize your images. Once you have that optimized image, you want to go to your media storage, place the image, grab the link, and then paste it into your Codex or whatever software that you're using to assist you with your build. We are here now, a couple minutes in, and we have a lot of great sections. It's looking clean. It's looking a lot better than it did before. And we have now the image of our agent. We have the button that hyperlinks to our calendar. We've done a lot of work in a little bit of time, and we've really made this easy. Now, these images that you're seeing, these are stock images, and we can change them out or keep them. For this video, just to finish it, we're gonna keep it for now because we understand the concept now. Now, The only thing that I see that's really missing here that's needed right away is we need a FAQ and we need to insert the client's phone number. So let's do that. Add 10 related FAQ above the footer section. Also add the privacy policy and service link placements in the footer section. Lastly, here is the contact. Edit where needed. Now, to gather our client's information, since I don't have it memorized, I'm going to come over and I am going to grab his contact info. There we go. And now again, we just press the button, let Codex do its thing, and we can go start working on the next item, which for us is going to be building the actual horizontal and square logo and fav icon for our client's new business website. And just like that, we now have our phone number inserted and we have our legal pages, and we will build those out later on. But so far, so good. So far we have a shell, and the shell is looking amazing, but we still have a little bit of work to do. All in all, we're under an hour and we've gotten a lot done, and we're honestly starting to look great in just a little bit of time. By the time we finish this entire process, we'll probably be 4 hours in. We'll have everything set up that the client needs, and we'll have $4,000 in our pocket. Now we've finished building out our homepage. How do we get our homepage over to GoHighLevel or the American Side Hustle? It's quite simple. Come over here in your panel in Codex. You can right click on this hyperlink and go open with File Explorer. After that, you're gonna have this HTML file. You're gonna right click and press open with Visual Studio Code. And let me pull this over so you can see it. Here is our code for GoHighLevel. We're simply going to click, copy all, save it, move this out the way, come over here to GoHighLevel. I'm gonna walk through this again in case we missed it before. Starting with a blank canvas, we're gonna click this button. We're gonna type in the word code and press the code button. Next, we're gonna click here, and on the right side, you're going to see Open Code Editor. Click inside the box and paste over our code. Press save. Now, to see what we have, we're going to preview it. And there you go. We can see where we are. Now, this white space up here and this white space on the bottom, I'm going to show you how to get rid of that. Coming back over here to GoHighLevel or the American Side Hustle, click here till you get a green box that pops up. Come over to Styles, and you're going to get rid of this padding. Make it 0. Same thing. Make it 0. Next, we're gonna find the next one, this little purple box. We're gonna make this 0. Make this 0, turn the padding on the left, also to 0, the padding on the right to 0. And now the one inside of the blue box should also be 0. So we will save this. And next we're gonna come over and preview again, much closer. There we go. Oops, I missed one. There we go. Make this 0 and make this 0. You're zeroing out all the extra padding. And preview. There we go. Now our padding is fixed. There's no negative white space at the top. And we can go through and see that we have a pretty decent shell to work with. If there's anything we want to adjust or change, we can do it very quickly inside of Codex. But this is how simple it is now to build out a homepage or a landing page or even an email funnel. It doesn't take a lot of effort, just a little bit of planning. Check our buttons. There we go. Now, to make this live, just for this video, we're going to publish. And we're going to come over here and we're going to go to our website. Now we have brightwellfinancial.com and we have our website live. That's how fast it was. Now, this is just a reference, right? This is just a quick walkthrough. Of course, I'm going to do my client's site and with a lot more detail than this. I'm going to go through, have phone calls and conversations. We'll see what he likes, what he doesn't like. You don't have to be an expert or have a lot of experience. You're going to gain the experience through trial and error. So if you're wondering how you generate money remotely so that you can live abroad, this is just one of 100 different ways of doing so. You've learned how to use Visual Studio Code. You've learned how to use Codex. You've learned how to use the American Side Hustle. And now you can see there's a pattern path to generating income. In the next video, we'll get into things called automation. So one thing that we want to happen in the future is when a client actually books a call or schedules a review, when they pick their time, we want our client to get an instant notification. Now, emails are going to go out, which is great, but we also want different things to happen. Those different things I'm talking about are called automations. In our next video, we're going to go over what workflows are, what automations are, how to trigger things. For example, down here we have appointment confirmation. If I click here, we have a template already for appointment confirmation. So when someone books an appointment with my client, a series of triggers occur that allow different things to happen so that your client doesn't have to. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of things that happen in here, so we're not going to go over that in this video. I'll be going over this in full detail in the next video. Also, don't forget, you got about 13 days left to join the community, where I'll be doing weekly lives, where I'll go over projects with an individual in person in real time, and I'll help you solve your problems and work through your entrepreneurship goals. Visit meandmonami.pro to find out more. Join the community. It's a lifetime deal. You can lock in now and you'll never have to pay again once you're locked in. But after June 1st, we're switching to monthly. It's going to be busy. It's going to be a lot of people. Being broke in 2026 is a choice. There's a lot of ways to make money online. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.